On this episode of Survive and Thrive 8791, I welcome Magali Shaw to the Buck and Honey's remote studios. Shaw, a woman whose journey from New York foster care system to cancer survivor is remarkable. Faced with hardship early in life, her husband made life easier. In 2018, preparing for retirement, she discovered a suspicious lump on her shoulder, leading to a rare cancer. Now in remission, Magali's story is one of surviving and thriving. Tune in for an inspiring chat about the courage to take control of your own story. This will be a good one. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is up wherever you are or whatever you are doing? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another episode of Survive and Thrive 8791. I'm your host, Coach Decora. We are in the Buck and Honey's remote studios on the east side of our great capital city of Madison, Wisconsin. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast. I'd been saying Apple Music, but it's actually Apple Podcast. iHeartRadio, YouTube, at Survive and Thrive 8791. You can follow the podcast and get access to previous episodes on Facebook at Survive and Thrive, the podcast. Don't forget to hit that follow button wherever you listen to the show. Leave me a comment if you liked what you heard, if there's a topic or you know a guest who would love to share their story. Email me at tdecor@gmail.com. Glad you could join us today. Our mission is to share stories and conversations that make you cry, laugh, and think, stimulating emotions, creating laughter, and inspiring the mind. A new episode will air on Monday and Thursday morning featuring a wide range of guests. The podcast will touch on many subjects such as, but not limited to, grief, loss of a loved one, recovery, professional setback, mental illness, success despite challenges, etc. Our guests will share how they learn to survive and thrive. I got to drop this conference reminder in there for some of you that don't know, or maybe you have heard. But before I introduce our amazing guest, I want to bring attention to the Survive and Thrive 8791 Mental Health and Recovery Conference coming to our great capital city of Madison, Wisconsin. The conference will be held at the Ho-Chunk Nation Madison branch office over on the east side on Wednesday and Thursday, October 29th and 30th. There will be several speakers who will share how they learn to survive and thrive mental health and addiction struggles. You can register for the conference, and if you are a business or an advocate of mental health and recovery, you can partner with the conference through sponsorship by going to our website and registering or looking at the partnership and sponsorship stuff and that website is surviveandthrive8791.com. That is SurviveandThrive 8791. So would love to have you partner with us or attend and get some coping skills. It's going to be an awesome time. This is our guest and episode intro, and I've got an amazing guest who I've known for a long, long time, sitting over here shotgun today. According to the internet, and the internet is always right, correct, Shazi?
I am a Googleaholic.
Googleaholic, she says. Mm-hmm. According to an AI, artificial intelligence overview, based on the information available, doctors diagnose fewer than 500 cases of Myxofibrosarcoma per year.
Yep.
Say that 5 times if you can.
Yes.
As fast as you can. In the U.S. of a Myxofibrosarcoma, MFS is a rare type of cancer that originates in the connective tissue, particularly in the arms and legs of older adults. It's characterized by a slow-growing, often painless mass that can infiltrate surrounding tissue, making complete surgical removal challenging. And today, I welcome Magali Shaw to the Buck and Honey's remote studios.
Thanks for having me. This is amazing.
I got that right, too, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Oh, my golly, like Magali.
Magali. Born in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
You might be the first Brooklyner that I know.
Oh, I don't know. I can talk like I have marbles in my mouth.
Magali started high school in Newburgh, New York, and would finish her senior year in Oviedo High School. At Oviedo High School. In Florida. After graduating from high school, Magali would take her talents to a small business college, Jones College, which is the doors are no longer open. After wearing many hats in her professional life, she would finish her work experience as a payroll specialist right here in Middleton at the High Site Enterprises before retiring in 2023.
Correct.
Today, I'm so glad you could join us, Magali Shaw.
And I love being here with you.
What is up?
I just love being here with you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think the first conversation that we had, we kind of did hit it off where it's almost like that breakfast. We had to look at our watch. We better take off or we'll be here talking for hours.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought it was great.
Yeah, and I've known your husband, Dave, who you're going to talk about,
yeah.
spin some yarns about here, just through the basketball world. And then just because I'm a huge basketball fan, and you always happen to be around, I got to know younger son, Mike, because he was a Platteville pioneer, just like I was, and he's considered family now.
Yes.
But you all are, so that's really
We
cool.
call it the mafia.
The Platteville Mafia. Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Yes.
How's the summer been going so far?
The summer's been great. I will, and you've seen this. I'm living my best life. I am as a 69-year-old, and I love every moment. I don't feel 69. I think there's an inner...
It's just a number, by the way.
I know, but do you have an inner age that you think...
Well,
what's your inner age?
Up until I retired from teaching FIAD at the high school level, I was predominantly a 14 to 18-year-old kid.
Isn't that funny? And
Because that's who I was around all the time.
I feel like I'm 31 or 32.
Now I think I feel like I'm about 39.
Yeah? You matured.
Yeah, I matured a little bit. And I got some tattoos, and I cut my hair shorter. And ever since I retired, I'm falling apart. Actually, I'm not falling apart. I'm just aging a little bit gracefully.
I'm with you.
Any big plans or travel this summer?
We did go to Scottsdale. Right around, we like to go right around Final Four time. And we were just there for a week. And this time Dave did not work. So we actually had a time to enjoy vacation, sit by the pool, eat, hang with friends that he has there. And it was a great time. It was a great time. So I keep telling Shazi, when he retires, he keeps saying it's March 31st. I'm going to hold him to it. That as soon as he retires, we're going to go and we'll spend 2 more weeks there. In fact, I remember we saw you there.
Yes, a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Now. So you got him to turn off the phone. You got him
Yes.
to maybe crack open a book or something.
No, we just kind of hang and talked. Didn't really turn off the phone, but he didn't bring a laptop, so that was big.
That's huge.
So, yeah, for him.
Before we get to your story, and it's compelling. You got a lot of stuff. You got a lot of layers, just like I do, which we found out in some conversations leading up to this.
Yes.
I think it's fascinating, and I'm glad you're here to share it today. But I've got to talk about our sponsor. So our sponsor, Buck and Honey's restaurants, are a place that people can escape to. For me, it's a great escape from cooking dinner. Do you cook?
I am actually a good cook, but I hate cooking.
You're a good cook, but you hate cooking.
Correct.
I'm kind of in that similar.
Yeah.
Except
Well,
I'm not a great cook, but I like cooking.
But I want to tell you, Buck and Honey's is amazing. We have our post dinner for all the volunteers after the Isthmus Bowl
Oh, yeah.
in Sun Prairie.
We're going to talk about. We're going to get Mike Shaw on here leading up to that. With their great food and drink menu, 5-star customer service, and a welcoming and vibrant atmosphere, people keep coming back with locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, and Horb. Most communities in the Dane County area, which encompasses Madison, Wisconsin, and the surrounding area, can get to a Buck and Honey's within 10 to 15 minutes. And this is where I do my drum roll. Have you been to Buck and Honey's?
I love Buck and Honey's, yes.
I love Buck and Honey's. What is your favorite?
I think my favorite is their roasted Brussels sprouts. And when you're a kid, you're like, ooh, Brussels sprouts. But those roasted, and you just, when the last one is done, you think, oh, I think I want another.
I think they drizzle those with a little bit of balsamic glaze.
It's so good. It is so good.
You bring up a funny thought, as you said, Brussels sprouts, and when we were kids, we were like, ew. I was either smart enough or dumb enough that when my mom said, you will eat all your vegetables, I would eat all my vegetables except, I would chew them all except for the Brussels sprouts. I would toss one in my mouth and drink some milk, and I would swallow it whole. I'm glad I'm here today to tell that story. I had to get him down because I needed to get outside and play, and my plate needed to be clean.
So that throat swallowing muscle was working overtime.
Got some more.
Yeah.
On the podcast, our guests follow the format for sharing their story like this. In segment 1, we talk about what was it like, so Magali's history, what happened to get Magali on the podcast. And in segment 2, we continue to talk about what happened and get into what it's like now. And we discuss Magali's 5 suggestions for thriving. Segment 1, you were raised in Brooklyn, New York. Tell us about your family growing up, because I'm going to let you talk.
Okay, I am actually a product of the foster system. And there was my brother. He and I were only 11 months apart. My birth mother was about 14. So by the time she was 19, she had 4 kids. And oddly enough, she took my brother and left us and took my brother to Puerto Rico. And so he grew up there. We were separated, and it really affected him. Later on, I found him, and he became an alcoholic. So I think that was a big no-no for him. And then it's just such a crazy story, because my birth father tried to work and keep an eye on us. But here I am, a 5-year-old at home with a 3-year-old sister, and not realizing, and we do later on, realize we have an 18-month-old sibling that she had. And the sad part is, doing our DNA, this is later in life, I'll come back, but doing our DNA, we find out that her father and my birth father are not the same. So we're thinking that that's what caused the family to break apart. So neighbors called that there's kids alone, and then Catholic Social Services would come in, and it's called St. Michael's. I don't know if it's still there. So we went to, my sister and I, Alicia, went to St. Michael's, and you know that Annie movie, It's a Hard Knock Life?
Oh, yeah.
There's that one scene where there are all the little cots with all the little cabinets behind them. That's exactly what it looked like. Yeah. So every time I see that, it reminds me of that. So it was just my sister and I at the time. And then we were put up for adoption. We were a baptized Catholic at the orphanage. I remember it because I remember being, dunked in the water. And my sister was 3. The things that happened there, my little sister, traumatized, ended up peeing on her little panties. And they would just grab her, and she would scream for me. And that's like a visual that I will never, ever forget. And she would be like my daughter, my little sister. So then from there, here comes Blanca and Joseph, and they decide that they want to be foster parents. The sad part is that they became foster parents later in life. And she's in her 40s, and she has these 3 little kids, and she didn't handle it well. And it was very dysfunctional. It can be abusive. And she did a lot of brainwashing, where I think there were times where a social worker would come, but she would warn us, if you say anything, you'll get split up. So the social worker did come one day and said, "Oh, you have room for the 3rd one." And my mother said, "The 3rd one?" And there was an 18-month-old that was left at what's called a foundling hospital. So they got
that's the one you talked about earlier.
Yeah, okay. Her name's Denora. And the sad part is that all the toxicity, is that the right word, of my foster mom, she put into this little person, and she didn't bring us up to be close at all. So we grew up with this animosity, and we're only 4 years apart. So it affected her where we try to be, later on in our older age, try to be sisters, but situation happened. I tried it again, like for the third time, and she decided to throw everything that was bad in our young life, blamed me for it, said I left her there home alone with two crazy people. But here's the thing, she was already 19, I was 23, and no. And I can tell you, Joseph, and I think we talked about later, he would do that visit at night. I know the listeners probably understand exactly what I'm saying, but we didn't realize that it happened to each one of us. So I don't know if Blanca knew about it or how she was acting, but it was not a fun time growing up. She was very, very, and I think as a foster kid, you want to be loved by the abuser. I think we talked about that, where you just want to be. I was always trying to be good. Why don't she love me? Blah, blah, blah. So I did come to the point where, you know what, I'm going to keep praying, manifest. Maybe I'll find somebody good in my life. And oddly enough, when we moved to Florida, like you said, I went to Oviedo High School in my senior year. And what happened was Joseph, the father, foster father, decided to retire from civil service. He was in the Army civil service. And then in 1973, I graduated in 74, he decided we're going to move to Florida. And I had already started high school senior year in Newburgh, New York. And here in September, we're moving to Florida, found work. We talked about that. I wanted to be a nurse, wanted to be in the Army, but from there, went to Jones College, graduated. I did what they called a accelerated course.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so was that the lure to Jones College?
That was the lure to Jones College, to get a secretarial degree so that I can go and find a secretarial job somewhere, because there was no money really to go to college. I did go there. I did well. I did take a civil service test. So I went there, got a first job, was with the Real Estate Commission of the state of Florida. And because my name was Magali Cecilia Nitiski, nobody can say that. Okay, so I would have them send me information through the mail. Just send it to, oh my golly. I did that. And then from there, I thought, I want something a little bit more money-wise, so you can go and apply for different state positions. And then that's when I applied for the University of Central Florida.
And then you meet a stunning young man.
Yeah, well,
by the name of Dave Shaw. Tell us about that.
I love basketball. So he started working as an assistant. So they were having at Central Florida. So my job, as I graduated from different positions at the University of Central Florida, they hired me in the development office. And the development office is all the fundraising for every single department, for the athletic department, for whatever they need. And we have what's called a sealing machine, where it would seal your envelopes and then stamp, so you can have huge mailings. One day, and my desk is right there. The door is to my left. The door swings open, and there's this tall, tan, blue-eyed man, brown hair, blue-eyed man, opens, and here he rolls in a grocery cart to the hilt with envelopes. And I looked at him, he looked at me, and he said, "Ma'am, I understand you have a sealing machine." And I looked at him, with my hair parted in the middle, long hair. And I looked at him, I go, "Ma'am." And he was taken aback. Yes, he was. And he goes, I was just trying to be polite. I said, "I'm a miss. There's no rings." So then I took him into the other little room, which is what I'm facing. I see him in the sealing machine, show him how to use it. You can hear it go chunka, chunka, chunk, the envelopes going through. And I see him looking back, and I'm looking back, and he's looking, and I look, and he goes, he said, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." And then he got nervous. And then he says, "Never mind, never mind." So I thought, two can play that game. I know we're doing this I thing, you know. So I'm typing away on my IBM Selectric 3 with the tape that takes out all the mistakes. And I go, excuse me. And he said, "Yeah." I go, "Never mind." And I went back to typing. So guess what? Next day, here he comes with this.
Got some courage.
Got a little, came back with a big old grocery cart full of envelopes that he needed to use the sealing machine for. And it was kind of cute. Then he saw my name, Magali Shaw, which is like forever name. And then as he was finished, as he left, he said, we talked about my name, and then he said, "Would a girl like you go out with a guy like me?" And here I'm looking at him. I'm looking at, he's 6'3", probably 175 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. And I'm thinking, yeah, I think I can. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I can do that.
I can do that. So our first date was, is it racquetball?
Racquetball.
We did, yeah. It was terrible, but we laughed. And I think the thing that I fell in love with Shawzy was his sense of humor. He's Irish, by the way. So his Irish sense of humor, he's a story. And then I have my own brand of humor.
Yes, you do.
Which is different from his. Mine is a little bit more New York based, a little bit more sarcastic and about life. Shawzy is a storyteller. He's a Wisconsin boy, and they say Wisconsin boys all come home. Here's where he fell in love with me. We went to hit golf balls. I think he liked my swing. Because then after that, he said, maybe we should probably maybe get married or something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the way he's going to ask me. So 6 months, we dated 6 months. And then on my birthday, we went to Disney World, had dinner, and he asked me formally to marry me. And then we got married 6 months later, Thanksgiving weekend, and then I moved up here December 2nd, 1982.
And the rest is history.
Well, the rest is history, and then I finally had to get a coat. A real coat.
A real coat.
A real coat, yeah.
We're going to fast forward to the end of 2017.
Okay.
And up to this point, you have been happily married. For almost 35 years and have raised a couple of children.
I hope so. I think so.
Then as you explained it before I hit the record button, you're got that mirror in your hand and
I'm doing my hair.
You're doing your hair, and you got the mirror in your hand so that you can look at the big mirror behind you, and you notice a lump
right on my shoulder blade. And typically, like you said, the Myxofibrosarcoma is usually in the limbs. So that's why this is even rare that it was in the back on the shoulder blade area. And I kept saying, "David, do you see a lump when I do this?" And he sees the lump. And it kept hurting anytime I laid down, anytime I did anything that was on a flat surface. So that just didn't feel right to me.
So that pain then, that turns into some pain. He touched it one day and you were like, holy
He
smoke.
poked it. I almost punched him.
He poked the bear.
Yes.
And you get misdiagnosed. And I think you said the doctor told you, well, it's just a lump. Just a lump. And
several of them did.
And anger sets in. Tell us about what was happening.
Okay, so I went to my doctor, my regular doctor. He looks at it, he manipulates, it's just a lump. So I go back, he wasn't there available, so I go to this other female doctor. She too says it's just a lump, but let me send you to a surgeon. Oddly enough, the surgeon had the same last name as the doctor that I just saw that told me it was just a lump. He comes in there. I got my little tank so you can see it. He rolls his little chair around and he looks at it and he said, yep, you have a lump. We could take it out. Do you want a scar? And he never did a biopsy, never manipulated it. He never did. And I know the nurse, when I walked out, she could tell. I was just furious. I was furious. And I made another appointment to see my regular doctor again.
Because I need some freaking answers.
Because there's something wrong. Something in my heart was telling me there's something wrong. This is not right. He and I went in there. He's an older gentleman. He was going to be retiring later on that year. But I walked in and I said to him, I am not leaving this office until you make an appointment with a plastic surgeon to get this out. And this is not cosmetic. There's something wrong. It hurts. It's not a lipoma. There's something different. So we did a stare down. We really did. He and I looked at each other and I went like this, put my arms, and I said, I'm not leaving. So then he set me up with this fabulous doctor, Jeff Larson, who every Valentine's Day, go into that, I do send him a note. So he set me up with this doctor. We go in there. He looks at it. He manipulates it. And he goes, you know what? We're going to take this out today. So they take me to this other little room. And I need to know, it took a half hour to get that little sucker out of there because it's like little claws into the muscle. So you have to cut around the muscle. And then I had, the stitching. And then went back to work. I'm a payroll specialist because, you got to pay people. 3 days later.
And 3 days later, you are going to get some news. And we're going to talk about that news in just a second.
Okay.
Buck and Honeys, I got to talk about our sponsor one more time because I can't wait for everybody to hear this, but we're going to put them on pins and needles here. Buck and Honeys has been with the Survive and Thrive 8791 crew since the beginning with 4 locations in the Madison area. One is always near. People ask, why Buck and Honeys? Owner Tom Anderson places a high priority on the mental health of his employees. He is a mental health professional available for them should they need support. I don't know how many businesses go above and beyond their EAP, Employee Assistance Program, but Buck and Honeys does. You are living life to the fullest, which you've already said. Mm-hmm. You have an amazing family, and your retirement years are looming. In early October 2017, you notice a lump by your left shoulder blade. Mm-hmm. You would seek medical attention for this lump and be told it really isn't much. It's just a lump. Your gut told you otherwise. In segment 2, Magali Shaw is going to share what that lump turned into. Please stay tuned. Don't change that channel. You're not going to want to miss segment 2 of Survive and Thrive 8791. We will be back.
If you, a loved one, or someone you know is experiencing a physical, mental, or emotional crisis, there is help and resources out there. Contact NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline, at 1-800-950-6264. This is a free service providing information, resource referrals, and support to people living with a mental illness, their family, providers, and the public. United Way 211 is available 24/7, 365, and offers free confidential assistance. They connect people with the local programs and services that can help. Dial 211. Emergency Crisis Services, dial 911. The Suicide Prevention Lifeline, dial 988. To connect via web, chat, visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Along with those numbers, there is help. You just need to say 3 words. I need help. Now, back to the show.
We are back. Welcome back to segment 2 of Survive and Thrive 8791. I'm your host, Coach Tim Decora. We are in the Buck and Honeys and remote studios on the east side of our great capital city of Madison, Wisconsin. The podcast is where we feature guests who share their story in hopes of helping others who may be struggling with what life throws at them. Magali Shaw is here today to share her story. She's here to talk us through some of the difficult times she had growing up, which she talked about, and then discovering a lump on her shoulder blade at age 61 that leads to a rare cancer diagnosis. She will share how she has survived and thrived since through those many ups and downs. Magali's story is full of obstacles, and you'll find out here inspiration as well. And we'll get into that. So in January 2018, you have a mass excised, and 3 days later, which we talked about at the end of segment 1, you are diagnosed with Myxofibrosarcoma.
Excellent.
Since the show has a mental health component to it, after that anger we talked about where you were being misdiagnosed, you said you were feeling some anxiety because of the C word. Cancer. Talk about your anxiety and what you were feeling.
Well, when they call me at work. My bestie that I was telling you about, Nancy, she was my boss and my bestie, but I did have a breakdown at work because, when you hear the C word, what do you think about? Oh, I'm gonna, what's going to happen? Yeah. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? When I did see Dr. Larson, and he did take it out, I could see he put the mass, it took him a half hour, I think I was saying, he put the mass in a little jar, and it looked like, those little bouncy balls that you get in those quarter slot things, and they're pink and gray. This is what it looked like, is exactly what it looked like. He took that out, got the phone call, and then, I don't know, God must have been really, I'm just so blessed because he gave me one of the best oncologists, Dr. Zach Morris. And the first time I remember seeing him, he explained to me what myxofibrosarcoma was, and it is a rare soft tissue sarcoma. And me, the Googleaholic that I am.
The Google doctor, some people say.
I did, and I was not, it scared the living bejeebers out of me because this type of cancer, if you don't take care of it and get it out and you just ignore it as a lump, it does grow. It does go through your system. It likes the warmth of the lungs, and then from the lungs, it goes into all your lymph nodes. So I'm reading this and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is...
Oh, Magali.
Yeah, oh my golly. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So Dr. Jeff Larson, we set up our operation, and it was on Valentine's Day. So every Valentine's Day, I thank him. I'm still here. Thanks because of you. But what happened was, what you need to do is make sure that you get all the margins, so that you don't leave one speck of a cancer cell. Because this kind of sarcoma likes to come back to the scene of the crime, they call it, and is bigger and badder than it was before. So if they missed a spot, I would have gotten it back. So from there, we had it removed, and then in April, February, March, they took some time. Then in April, we're going to do radiation. So it's like 6-7 weeks of radiation. And that's a big deal. My heart goes out to all the people who get radiated, because I don't think people realize that radiation is like being microwaved from the inside out. In fact, I have tattoos. They had a tattoo and mark here. I had a tattoo dot here. I still have a tattoo here and a tattoo here. So that when they do the radiation, they have to pinpoint through where the cancer was. So they have to burn that out.
So while you were getting this phone call, you've got cancer, you start radiation, you go to the last place you should go to was, okay, I got cancer, I'm going to die.
Yes.
How were you handling any of that anxiety? What were you doing?
Well, I was very lucky when I do take Wellbutrin. And the reason I started taking Wellbutrin is when I turned 50, and because of my childhood, and you go through the change of life, all the stuff from childhood, I was always angry. And Shazi, we didn't get along. He went to see a therapist, and then he said that she wants to see you. So we go in there together as a couple. Then when I left, she wanted to see me alone, and that's where all the stuff, I was able to tell somebody the truth of everything. I was on Wellbutrin. The first doctor wanted to wean me off of Wellbutrin. As soon as I got the diagnosis, I went back. I said, I want what I was having back. Because he did it half, and no, I want the whole thing. Because I knew that I would not be able to handle it without having what I call it a happy medicine, because it kind of keeps you on keel. Doesn't mean you don't cry, doesn't mean you don't have emotion, but it keeps you even. Doesn't do that manic up and down stuff. So we go see this amazing doctor. But the thing is, when you have cancer, you don't hear what the doctor is saying. I think I explained to you, it's like being underwater. You see their mouth talking, but you don't understand what they're saying. You don't understand what kind of cancer it is. What, little by little, now I know what it's going to do. How's it going to feel? We're going to have to, do this radiation. You have to go to the Carbone Center every single day, except on the weekends. So Shazi and I would work, and then I meet him at home. I get radiated, and then we go have dinner. So we called it radiating dating. He was wonderful because he was my mouth and my ears, because you're like underwater. I mean, I think every single time I went in, I don't remember. To be honest, I don't even remember now what he says.
So there's a couple of things I'm hearing that you did during these times, because there's somebody that's probably listening to the show. How did she cope with her anxiety or depression? For you, was anxiety, and here's what I'm picking up on. You kind of detach a little bit.
I did
from the cancer. You had your husband there, and you were turning radiation into a date to try to, again,
give it a little humor. Give it a little humor.
Give it a little humor.
Yeah, because the people that we saw there, I was very grateful. I saw so many. When you see the people at the Carbone who are even worse than you, then you are actually, you're blessed. And there's a lot of different cancers. There's a lot of young little people. There are people who drive from way up north Wisconsin just to come to UW Carbone for radiation. Or fly in. Yeah, so we got to know them because our timing was always the same. So we got to meet people that way. The only time, the funny part, they were doing a Vietnam memorial in Arlington, and I wanted to go, so I had to ask permission. So you can't stop radiation.
Did you raise your hand?
Yes. So it was so funny because I go, I'd like to go. He goes, yeah, you can go, but when you get back, it's twice a day. So we radiated.
You got to do some makeup work then.
We radiated in the morning and we radiated in the evening for a week. That was it's kind of crazy, but that, you get to hear music. They put it on the girls there. I mean, I became friends with them. I'm friends with them on Facebook, and they're just, you have to be that other type of person, just a loving person when you have cancer, and they take care of you and they put you in that machine that radiates, and it sounds like you're at a construction site and it's making all this noise, and you're not in there very long. I mean, what I used to do is listen to the music, and music's about 4 minutes, right? So I knew by the fourth song that I was almost done for this time. Yeah. So that worked out.
You sent me the questions or the answers to the little questionnaire I had.
Yeah.
And because that took a little time for your schedule and my schedule to meet up, you were going to, when you sent the answers back to me, you were hoping to get some news very soon about whether you were
In remission forever,
in remission or not. So tell our group what the news was.
Well, it was really good. What you have to do after radiation, you have to go every 3 months for an MRI and CT scan. And every 3 months they have to check to make sure there's no mess growing again, because so you go for 5 years. And we didn't realize, 5 years. Then the 6th year, you go every 6 months. Then the 7th year, 1. And then here on the 8th year, 1 more, 1 time. And so I went in there and they said, yep, you look great. You look good. There's nothing there. So I'm very happy about that.
Which leads to my other comment here. I've heard that 10 years after a cancer diagnosis is kind of like the magic number when you can say you're kind of safe, but that's not the case for
mine. I was very lucky that it was the 8th year, because I'm 69 now, so I know 61. So this last time he looked at it, but he showed me the MRI and it looked great.
Clear.
Well, what happens though, the scar tissue, they have to look through that because there's a lot of scar tissue when you have radiation. So, but everything looked great, he told me. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
I am beyond relief.
We are all.
Yeah. I'm a happy person, really.
You are.
I like to wake up. My goal is to make somebody laugh every day.
We're going to get to those in just a second. Don't blow it on us.
Okay.
But I do have to, we're going to get to something else here, though.
Okay.
You are retired. You retired in 2023. And you're enjoying something new in your life that you didn't think you maybe would do. Do you care to share?
Oh, I would love to share. I am lucky enough that I love drag. And drag is, that male to female impersonation, but anybody can do drag. So my son is a bartender at 5 Nightclub, which is right off of Fish Hatchery and the Beltline.
Right in Madison.
Right in Madison, it's like on the Fitchburg, Madison borderline there. And I would go visit him and I would meet these, what we call queens, and the male performers that turn into female performers. I made friends with a lot of people, but the part that I love the most is the niche, the kids who, I'm called Mama Shaw there, because I'm his mom, first off. And the bartender to me. And one of the things I always ask him, I go, are you sure you're okay with your mom being here at the bar, all the time with you? And he said, Mom, you survived cancer. I think it's okay.
You can go wherever you want.
You go wherever you want.
You got a key to the city.
And there were a few times where I'll hear him go, that's my mom over there. So they would come and meet me, and I would meet, and they'll tell me their story, and there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of kids who are disowned. There's a lot of kids who are trans. A lot of people don't understand that. I am a hugger, and I cannot even express to you how many times when I'm at a show there, I have people come and hug me, and I hug them back, and they tell me stories, and I listen, and, because I'm a parent who supports. Daver's called Papa Shaw. I'm Mama Shaw, so we show up, and we support the kids. I make David go to some of my shows. He's sometimes not very comfortable all the time, but he does come see me, his wife.
He's a supportive husband.
Yes, on stage. I've had my 68th birthday there. I had my 69th birthday there. I had my retirement show there. Got to wear some amazing clothes, wigs, hair, the makeup, and it's music. And I, growing up, music saved me as a foster kid. I was a Michael Jackson 5, all the Motown back in New York. So I can't live without music. So that is attractive to me, all the different songs and the music. You're not singing, you're lip syncing, but you have to make sure you know the song.
Sure.
So it looks like you're actually singing.
So take the wig off.
Take the wig off, it's me.
Take the makeup off, take the clothes off,
Yep.
and you have these kids that, we talked about this too, that you maybe see a part of you growing up in them. That's why you feel so
Close to them.
Close to them.
I think when you're an injured soul, and I'm all about the universe, but when you're an injured soul, and I think we have that also a connection to him, because when you're growing up and your soul is injured, it knows another little injured soul. It doesn't matter the age. These kids are in their 20s, some are in their early 30s. It doesn't matter. If your soul is speaking to that other little, they know, we know, and they are able to feel comfortable. They tell me their story. I was kicked out of the house. I'm living here. I'm doing this. And it's all about the community there is loving, very loving, because that's all they have. They have each other. That's their, what do you call it, chosen family, right? I try to be a mom figure for them.
I'm just thinking about those kids, and I'm so glad that you're there for them.
I'm very blessed that I'm healthy enough to be there for them. And also blessed to be, these people come and see me, and, I make like $400. You have to give a tip. So they come to my show. They love me. I love them. And it's, I don't know, I don't want to call it, maybe it's like a labor of love, because you have to work hard to learn your songs and stuff like that. And I invest in some nice things to look, a grown-up version, of being Mama Shaw in drag, but looking like a higher Hollywood grown-up version, But the funny part, I was teased because I'm 68, Cher is 78, now I'm 69, Cher is 79. So on my 69th birthday, I was saying, hey, if Cher can do it, I can do it. So I'm going to be, hopefully I'll be here for my 70th birthday party right here at 5.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. That's my goal.
You found a new quest in life.
That's right.
And you're helping people. This is where, and you're going to help some people now here, this is where the subscribers, followers, and listeners take out their notebooks, pens, and pencils, and they're going to jot some stuff down. Here are Magali Shaw's 5 suggestions that have allowed her to survive and thrive the childhood she had.
Read them to me, because I don't have my glasses on.
I'm going to toss them in softball style. And those same things that got you through early childhood and young adulthood were there to help you get through your cancer diagnosis. So I'm going to toss these in on her hand, softball style. Can you hit a softball?
I can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, I played softball.
I see it
in middle school.
Beers.
They call me Speedy.
Speedy. Number 1, I think what kept me going is I always took a funny, humorous view of life. Go ahead and hit that.
Well, when you think about, and I, like we talked, I have a New York sense of humor. So I always try to be, it's like a sarcastic way of looking at life. And I challenge myself to make somebody laugh every single day, no matter what. And a lot of times I make fun of myself. And that's how I survived high school, because I was the new girl, but I was funny. I'd make fun of myself first, whatever little thing. And then my kids have that same sense of humor. When we get together, it's a party. They'll bring up stuff. Remember when Mom found the dryer sheet? I was yelling at them, and something was bothering me, and I pulled it out. And because I'm yelling at them, and here's a dryer sheet, they still are laughing to this day, me being serious and throwing out a dryer sheet. Yeah.
Number 2, I always wake up positive. Go and hit that.
I do. I don't know if people do gratefuls. Do you do any gratefuls, Tim? I do too. So I wake up and I do my gratefuls because I'm grateful for the hair on my head. I'm grateful that I can see. I'm grateful that I can talk. I'm grateful that I can walk from here to the restroom. So I do my gratefuls and I do a lot of thank yous. But I do have my favorite, I didn't put that on there, but my favorite all-time guide and saint is St. Anthony. And I hope to meet him when I pass away because I have relied on him all through my childhood and even to this day. And he's the patron saint of lost things. And listen, growing up with my mom, you lose something and it was awful. So I would pray to, even now to this day, St. Anthony, find, this and this, I lost this and this. So he's always part of me. I feel like he's my guide.
And that leads into number 3, which you kind of have already touched on here, but I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. And Shazi, and I think one of the other things when you manifest, I do remember this, I would cry and cry when I was younger. And so what did I do to deserve this awful life I have with this crazy woman and this crazy man? And I always visualized a really good man, a really good person. I want to have a good life. And God blessed me with him because Daver is more of he's flow with the flow, Mags, because I was a control freak. And what happens is when you're young and you don't have control, and all of a sudden, as an older adult, you are going to control everything. And here's this awesome person, Mags, you gotta flow with the flow. You don't have to control everything. It doesn't have to be this way. There's always gray area. So I had to learn that. I had to learn how to be lighter. I don't know if that's the right word.
Or go with the flow.
Go flow with the flow. Yeah. Learn how to do that with Shazi. Yeah.
Number 4, and you mentioned this already as well. I try to make one person laugh every day.
Yeah.
Go and hit that.
Even you. I think I had you giggling here a little bit when I walked in, right?
Mm-hmm. I hope I'm not the one person. I'm sure you probably made somebody laugh already today.
No, I think you were my first today, but that's okay.
Check.
Oh, but texting, if you make somebody laugh in texting, I think that you can do that.
Too.
Yeah, that counts. Yeah, I made people laugh that way too.
And last one, number 5, giving back to others what you needed when you were young.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit that.
When you're growing up in a foster environment and it's dysfunctional, you grow up with heaviness and a sad soul. So I want to love, and that's what I said that in my little speech after my birthday. I am grateful that I get to love you because you love me. And it's a back and forth. And it's that, I don't know, there's a name for it. It's just the camaraderie. You gravitate towards people that you want to be loved by. I didn't have that. I remember moving out and I asked my mom, I won't move if you just tell me you love me. And she refused. So I have that in my background. So I'm always looking to show love. Like my kids know I love them fiercely. Shazi knows I love him fiercely. I wrote him a really nice letter the other day because I just felt like letting him know how much he means to me. And then we kind of tease fight, and you say, oh yeah, and then you gave me that letter. You don't really mean it. Like, yeah, I do.
You digressed to about 12-year-olds then real quick.
We did. I am blessed that I met him, and we're going to be married 43 years in November.
What a great episode. I'm so glad you could join the Survive and Thrive 8791 crew today. Your story and how you overcame some early obstacles.
Thank you.
And used that experience to fight cancer is inspiring.
Thank you.
Your story reminds us all to have coping skills or mental health tools in the toolbox when a person is met with challenges in life. And despite that, you have survived and thrived. Our call to action. Magali Shaw just shared her incredible story on what it's like to survive a tough early life, thrive, and take on cancer. Here are Magali's 5 suggestions that helped her survive and thrive. Number 1, she says, I think what kept her going is she always took a funny, humorous view of life. Number 2, she always wakes up positive. Number 3, she's grateful. Number 4, she tries to make one person laugh every day. And number 5, she wants to give back to others what she needed when she was young, and that's just to be love and to love somebody.
Right, to give them that strength.
Final thoughts as we close another great episode of Survive and Thrive 8791. Are there any final thoughts? Magali, Shaw, Shazi, any final thoughts?
I think I want to tell you how much I appreciate meeting you. I want to tell you how much this, because I remember you mentioned it last year that you wanted to do this, and it took me a long time just to get it in my head that I'm going to be sharing story with you.
It's some tough stuff.
It is. I mean, somebody said to me, you should write a book. Yeah, everybody's got chapters, but I appreciate it that this is what you do to help a lot of us tell our stories, because most of us are walking books. You want to hear the chapters, and I appreciate you letting me share a few of my chapters. I am 69. I'm hoping to live a little bit longer. Found my birth father. It's another long story, but he passed at 89, so I have longevity, I think, a little bit. So I'm very happy about that.
And that's good for the rest of the world.
Yes, thank you.
On our next episode of Survive and Thrive 8791, we will have another amazing guest in the Buck and Honey's Remote Studios who will share how they learn to survive and thrive. If you have a story to share or you know someone who does, please reach out to me at tdecora@gmail.com. Until next time, hang in there with whatever you happen to be going through, and with hard work, dedication, and determination, you can survive and thrive. Until next time, take care.
Bye. Thank you.